Hi everyone, welcome to the session. Welcome to the session. Welcome to the session where we are discussing the Moigas trial exams 2024 mathematics. Hi everyone. Welcome to the session where we are all going to discuss the math paper that was done by Moigas in 2024. Let's all look at that paper. Keep inviting your friends because we are starting in the next 2 minutes. Invite your friends, share the link to them because we are starting in the next 2 minutes. In the next 2 minutes, we are starting. In the next 2 minutes. All right, question number one. Question number one. Evaluate without using tables or calculators. Evaluate without using tables or calculators. We've been given log a half plus log 64 all over log 1 over 32 divided by 1 over 8. 3 marks. Learners, we are supposed to solve that question without using calculators or mathematical tables. This is how we are going to solve it. Hope you are ready with your pen and your calculator and somewhere to do your calculations. So learners, for us to answer this question, there are things that we need to know. There are things that we need to know. There are things that we need to know for us to do that calculation. That when we look at that question, let's start talking it out. This is like saying because the numerator we are having log a half plus log 64 and they are all to the same base, which is base 10, and if the sign is addition, learners hope we remember that we multiply the powers. So this is like saying log, this will be now a half times 64. I'm multiplying because the sign here, the logs are being added, so the powers can be multiplied when we combine them. All over log. Already this one is done for us. Ours is just to work out what is first inside the brackets. So 1 over 32 divided by 1 over 8 is like saying 1 over 32 times 8 over 1. Learners, that's our first step. That is our first step. Now this one evaluates to log a half times that 64. We are going to get it as log 32 all over 1 over 32 times 8. That one we are going to get a quarter. So this will be like saying log of a quarter. Log of a quarter. Now, learners, that one also is simple. How do you work it out? It's very simple. Remember, log 32 is like saying 2 raised to power 5. So that's just like saying log 2 raised to power 5 over, this will be log 2 raised to power negative 2. Because a quarter is like saying 2 raised to power negative 2. Hope you remember that. Now, when we are there, there is a law such that if you are having the log, let me have it like this, log a power b This is like saying B log A. I'm going to apply that law. So for the first part, when I'm having log 2 power 5, that will be now the same as 5 log 2 over this other side will be negative 2 log 2, negative 2 log 2. So we've reached there. What happens if we are there, learners? If we're there, what happens is that this log 2 and log 2 can cancel. Log 2 and log 2 cancels. Then we are left with 5 over negative 2, which gives you negative 2 whole number 1 over 2. Negative 2 whole number 1 over 2. That is the solution for part 1. The solution for part 1, dear learners. Let's look at question number 2. Make W the subject of the formula. This is a question on formula and variation in Form 3. So, for us to make W, learners, the subject of the formula in that case, step number 1 that we need to do, we need to get rid of that square root. We need to get rid of that square root. We need to get rid of that square root. Remember, our equation was 2W being equal to the root of 2W plus 8 all over 3W minus 5. That was it. So step number 1, as I have said, is trying to eliminate the square root on the right hand side of the equal sign. Now, how do we remove the square root? We are going to remove that square root by squaring each side of the equal sign. By squaring each side of the equal sign. So this right hand side I square, also the left hand side I square. Once I square, the square and the square root on the right hand side cancels. The square and the square root cancels. So this was 2x. This was 2x, not 2w. Let me just have that correction. This one here was 2x, not 2w. This one here was 2x, like that. When I do the squaring, I'm now going to get on the right hand side, 2 squared will be 4. Then x squared should be now equal to 2w plus 8 all over 3w minus 5. I'll have it like that. So that is the first step. And by just having it like that, you'll be getting your 1 mark. By eliminating the square root, you'll be getting 1 mark. Now, when we are here, learners, step number next is you can do cross multiplication. This, remember that this is just like saying this is like over 1. So we can do cross multiplication. Let's see. We can do cross multiplication. This one and that one, that one and that one. Once we do cross multiplication, this is what we'll be getting, learners. This is what we'll be getting. So it will be 4x squared. 4x squared into 3w minus 5 should be equal to 2w plus 8. It will be equal to 2w plus 8. Remember, learners, I'm going stepwise. Then you can open your brackets. 4x squared times 3w, that will make it to be 12x squared w. 12x squared w minus 4x squared times 5. That will become 20x squared should be equal to, on the right hand side we have 2w plus 8. Then here we are. Remember, the intention is to make w the subject of the formula. So I can say those items with the letter w to be on one side of the equal sign. So by that it means then 2w will cross to the left hand side and the negative 20xw, sorry, and the negative 20x squared will cross to the right hand side. Having said that, so this side will be 12x squared w, 12x squared w. Then the positive 2w on the right hand side moving here will become minus 2w, should be equal to 8. Then minus 20x squared on crossing the equal sign will become plus 20, sorry, should be plus 20x squared. We are almost there. Now, because we have it like that, intention is to make w the subject of the formula. On the right hand, sorry, on the left hand side, because w is common between 12x squared, between 12 squared w and 2w, we can factor out the w because that's what we are interested in. When I factor out my w, I'm going to left with 12x squared minus 2 should be equal to 8 plus 20x squared. Now, in order to make w the subject of the formula, then I have to remain only with the w on that side. I have to remain with the w on that side. So dividing both sides by 12x squared minus 2, I'm going to remain with, on the left hand side, I'll have w being equals to 8 plus 20x squared. Now all over 12x squared minus 2, all over 12x, all over, just a moment, all over 12x squared minus 2, all over 12x squared minus 2. As simple as that, learners. So I'm having w being given by 8 plus 20x squared all over 12x squared minus 2. And that is how you make w the subject of the formula. That's how you make w the subject of the formula. Let's look at question number 3. Let's look at question number 3. Two pipes, P and Q, can fill an empty tank in 3 hours and 4 hours respectively. It takes 5 hours to fill the tank when an outlet pipe R is opened, the same time with the inlet pipes. Calculate the time R takes to empty the tank. Calculate the time R takes to empty the tank. So it means P working alone takes 3 hours. Q working alone takes 4 hours. This one takes hours. Then I have R. R is the one empty, working alone, I don't know. So I can say it takes X hours. It takes X hours. So let's get the fraction that can be filled when all the 3 taps are running in 1 hour. So we can say in 1 hour, part of the tank filled, part of the tank, the fraction of the tank filled. How do you get it? You take in 1 hour, tap P, pipe P will fill a third in 1 hour. Pipe Q will fill it in a quarter hour, will fill a quarter of it in 1 hour. Hizi ni za kujaza. Then because kuna ile ya kuondoa, there's that one that is letting water out, an outlet pipe, we subtract it. And because we don't know the fraction, sorry, it's how long does it take to empty the tank, I can just say in 1 hour it is also doing 1 over x, because I said let x be the time it takes to fill the tank, to empty the tank, like that. So working it out, maybe adding a third and a quarter, you're going to get in your calculator when you take a third plus a quarter, you are going to get 7 over 12. So this is like saying in 1 hour the work done is 7 over 12. 7 over 12 minus 7 over 12 minus 1 over x. That is what is done in 1 hour. That is what is done in 1 hour. Now, if it takes 5 hours to fill the tank, so it means this what is being done in 1 hour is equivalent to 1 over 5. The fraction done in 1 hour is equivalent to 1 over 5. So here, 1 over 5 should be equal to 7 over 12 minus 1 over x, like that. Collection of like terms, I'll have 1 over x on this side being equal to 7 over 12. 1 over 5 on crossing will become minus 1 over 5. I'll now have 1 over x being equal to, with the help of a calculator again, 7 over 12 minus 1 over 5. I'm getting 23 over 60. I'm getting 23 over 60. So now learners, if 1 over x is equal to 23 over 60, so the reciprocal of 1 over x makes it to be x should be equal to the reciprocal of 23 over 60, which is 60 over 23. 60 over 23. Remember, x was the duration, 60 over 23 hours, because that was the value for x. So the 60 over 23 hours, you don't leave it like that. Mtoto haizibeba mtu mkubwa. So that one is equivalent to saying 2 hours. Just a moment. That's like saying 2 whole number 14 over 23 hours. 2 whole number 14 over 23 hours. Calculate the time R takes to empty. R takes 2 hours. 2 hours 14. 14 over 23 hours. Learners, that is how you answer that. Remember, it's a question also from Form 3 work. Question number 4. Given that OM is equals to I minus 3J plus 4K and ON is equals to 6I plus 3J minus 5K and OQ is equals to 2OM plus 5ON. Find the magnitude. Find the magnitude of OQ to 3 significant figures. Find the magnitude of OQ to 3 significant figures. Learners, this question is still very easy. It's still one of the easiest questions, I'm quite sure and convinced. One of the easiest questions. So let's see. They are talking about us getting the magnitude of OQ. For us to get the magnitude of OQ, one thing we have to know is that for us to get the magnitude of OQ, this is what you need to know. Let's first get the OQ. OQ is being said to be 2OM plus 5ON. It's good to know. It's good to know. It's good to know that. And before we proceed with it, this will be 2. Then the OM, so apologies for that. Then the OM, then the OM, what happens in the OM, learners? We are going to write it as a column vector. Hope you remember how to write column vectors. Hope you remember how to write column vectors. Hope you remember how to write column vectors, learners. Hope you remember how to write column vectors. And how do you write a column vector? It's OM. So this will be now into like that. I negative 3j and positive 4k. That's the OM. Plus 5 into ON. That is 6i. 6i. Then 3j. Then minus 5k. Learners, remember that the sign is very important. The sign is very, very important. The sign is very, very important, learners. Now, as we are doing that, as we are doing that, there are things that also, again, we need to have in our minds. There are things that we need to know. When we are going to do the addition, learners, remember, first we need to expound this because we've not expanded. Let me just minimize the spacing by drawing this line like this. So this is like saying 2 is going to multiply everything here. 2i, that will be 2i. 2 times negative 3j, that will be negative 6j. 2 times 4k, that will be 8k. That's for the OM. Now you add it to 5 times 6i, that will be 30i. 30i. That is 5 times 3j, that will be 15j. Then 5 times negative 5, that will be negative 25k. This one should be giving you 2i plus 30i. What do you get? 2i plus 30i. You should be getting 32i. 32i. Negative 6j plus 15j. Negative 6j plus 15j. What are you getting? Negative 6j plus 15j, learners. Negative 6j plus 15. You get 9. Positive 9j. Then 8 plus negative 25. 8 plus negative 25. You're going to get negative 17k. We are done with that. So that is our OM. 32i plus 9j minus 17k. Minus 17k. Now, learners, after we've obtained that, after we've known that, it now makes our work quite simpler. It now makes our work quite simpler. How do you get magnitude? Remember, the term is magnitude. Learners, how do you get magnitude? How do you get the magnitude? For you to get the magnitude, it's not difficult. Magnitude of OQ is the square root of the coefficient of x squared. The coefficient of x is what? 32. So that will be now 32 squared plus the coefficient of j, which is 9 squared, plus the coefficient of k, which is negative 17, but you square. So in our calculators, learners, let's press. In your calculator, if you confirm by taking 32 squared plus 9 squared, plus 9 squared, then plus 17 squared, what do you get? I'm getting 1394. I'm having 1394. And so this is like saying the root of 1394. When I square root it using a calculator, I'm getting 37.336. 37.336 units. But have I answered the question? No. What is the question telling me? I have to leave my answer to three significant figures. So to 3SF, I'm going to have my answer as 37.3 units. And that is now your final answer, dear learners. 37.3 units. Let's look at question number 5. Question number 5. A triangle ABC is such that A is 14.30 centimeters, B is 16.5 centimeters, and angle B is 56 degrees. Find the radius of a circle that circumscribes the triangle. Find the radius of the circle that circumscribes the triangle. We can have maybe first a sketch. If this is my triangle, then the circle that circumscribes the triangle is the circle touching like this, touching the corner points like that. So allow I call here maybe A, maybe B, maybe C. They say if this side is A, obvious learners, you know this side here will be it's A, small letter A. So this is 14.0. Hope you remember that. And sine, cosine, and tangents. The cosine rule. This will be 14.3. Sorry. Just a moment. Let me erase this what I've written. Like that. Thank you. This A is 14.3 here. Then B, if here is B, then its opposite side here is the small letter B, 16.5. Then angle B here is 56 degrees. If we have it like that now, learners, you know that they want the radius, and you know B over sine B always gives you 2R. The relationship between the sine and the radius, we know that from what we learned in Form 3. So B is 16.5 over sine B, which will be now sine 56, should be giving me my 2R. So let's see, how do we proceed with that? For we to proceed with that, will you take just a moment? Can you work out that, learners? Can you work out? I want your answer, because at times is also good. I see if you can finish what I started. And if you finish that, please, can you just post your answer to the comment section so that I can verify for you? If you are done with that, you post your answer to the comment section. 16.5 divided by sine 56. Then you divide it now by 2R. Sorry, by 2 to get your R. It's not something difficult, learners. Not something difficult. I'm dividing that by sine 56. By sine 56, I'm getting 19.903. So this is like saying 19.903 is equals to 2R. It means 19.903 over 2 is equals to R. Sorry. So having said that, this being equals to R, then what will be my value for R? Because that's what they want. Divide that by 2. So my R, I'm having 9 point, they've not restricted the decimal points, 9.95. 9.95 centimeters, 9.95 centimeters. That is how you get your R. That's how you get your R, 9.95 centimeters. Question number next, that question number next, we are having the third and sixth terms of a GP are negative 64, negative 64, negative 64 and 8 respectively. Find the common term. Find the common term. Remember, they are talking about the third term of a GP. Third term of a GP. How do you get the third term? Third term of a GP is given by AR squared. So it means AR squared, which is the third term of a GP, is equal to negative 64. And the sixth term is AR power 5. AR power 5 should be equal to 8. Now they want to get the common ratio. They want to get the common ratio. They want to get the common ratio here. Is it something difficult to learners? It's not. This one is not anything anyhow different, because when I take let's see, when I take the sixth term over the fifth term over the third term, the sixth term is AR power 5 over the over the third term, which is AR power 2. It should be equal to 8 over negative 64. It will be 8 over negative 64. 8 over negative 64. That's what we need to know. That's what we need to know. Working it out, I'm now going to get, let us just see what is happening. So this is like saying, when you simplify this will be R cubed is equals to 1 over negative 8 over negative 8. 1 over negative 8. 1 over negative 8. Now, once I have it like that, because why am I saying 1 over negative 8? Maybe let me just show someone here. When I have it like this A and this A will cancel. I'm left with R5 over R2. R5, learners, if you don't know, R5 it means 5R. So that's R times R times R times R over R squared, that is R times R. So this R and this cancels, this one and this cancels. R5, 1, 2, 3, 4. I wrote 3. So I'm going to be left with 3. I'm going to be left with 3 R's. That's why I'm having the R cubed here. Once I have this like this, if to get this I have to cube root, I also have to cube root, such that I'm going to have my R. The cube root will be 1 over negative 2. The cube root will be 1 over negative 2, which is like saying negative a half. Negative a half as your answer. Negative a half as your answer. Let's look at next part, the first term of the GP. How do you get the first term of the GP? How do you get? Remember, the third term is given by AR power 2 is equal to negative 64. I don't have my A, but my R is negative half squared is equals to negative 64. A, in fact, this one will now be a quarter. A is equals to negative 64. So A is given by negative 64 times 4, negative 64 times 4, which is negative 256. Negative 64 over 4, which is negative 256. As simple as that, you'll have it. Part D of the question, we are being told to find the standard deviation. Calculate the standard deviation of the set of numbers. These are set of numbers, meaning they are our x values. Because of space, I'll draw a horizontal table. Then I'll have my D. D is given by, remember, how do you get D? D is given by, in this case, D will be given by x, because they had not told us what to do. D will be given by x minus x bar. Sorry. D will be given by x minus x bar, where x bar is the mean. Then I also need to populate somewhere for the D squared. So 29, 31, 28, 29, 29, and this will be 31, 46, 39, 31, 39, 31. Those are our tables. This space will not be enough for me. And now I write it from this side, but let me use a different pen. Now, let's first get the mean. How do you get the mean in that case, learners? Mean, which I can say to be x bar, is obtained by taking 29, you add it to 31, plus 28, plus 29, plus 31, plus 46, plus 39, plus 31. All of this you divide by the number of elements. How many elements do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Divided by 8. So I'm getting my mean. Let me use my calculator. Very first, 29 plus 31 plus 28 plus 29 plus 31 plus 46 plus 39 plus 31 divided by 8. I'm having 33. I'm getting my mean as 33. Now, after I've obtained my mean as 33, now I'll come and get my D. Remember, D is x minus x bar. So 29 minus x bar, which is 33. I'm going to get this as negative 4. This is negative 4. 31 minus 33, you get negative 2. 28 minus 33, you get negative 5. 29 minus 33, you get negative 4. 31 minus 33, you get negative 2. 46 minus 33, you get 13. Then 39 minus 33, you get 6. Then 31 minus 33, you get negative 2. After that, let's get our D. D squared. D squared is just squaring the values for D. So negative 4 squared is 16. 16. Negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 5 squared is 25. Negative 4 squared is 16. Negative 2 squared is 4. Then we have 13 squared, which is 169 here. Just a moment. Sorry for that. This one here is 169. Then 6 squared is 36. Negative 2 squared is 4. Then they want the standard deviation. Learners, standard deviation in this case for the ungrouped data is given by summation of d squared over n. So I need to get the summation of d squared. Summation of d squared is 16 plus 4 plus 25 plus 16 plus 4 plus 169 plus 36 plus 4. So I'm getting the summation of my d squared. Let me just check. That is how did I start it? Let me check. Do I have any omission? What is my summation for d squared? Let me repeat just for confirmation. That is 16 plus I remember I have 16 plus 4 plus 25 plus 16 plus 4 plus 169 plus 36 plus 4. I'm getting 274. 274. Now once you have 274, so this is like saying 274 all over how many items? We had 8. Oh, sorry, it must be square rooted. This is standard deviation. So you divide 274, you divide it by 8, then you square root your answer. I'm getting my answer as 5 point. Have they restricted the decimal points? No, I can write it to 4 significant figures. 5.852. 5.852. Like that. That is my standard deviation, learners. That's how you get your standard deviation, as simple as that. Let's look at question number 8. Grace deposited 16,000 in a bank that paid a simple interest at the rate of 14% per annum. Joyce deposited the same amount of money as Grace is in another bank that paid a compound interest semi-annually. After 4 years, they had equal amounts in their bank. Determine the compound interest rate per annum to 1 DP for Joyce deposit. So they said that Grace deposited 16,000 that paid a simple interest at this rate. After 4 years, let's get the total amount for Grace. Let me get Grace amount in 4 years. Because Grace is under simple interest, Grace is under simple interest, I'm going to get amount, then I'm going to add it to the interest. How do I get interest? Principal times rate times time over 100. The amount is what she deposited. She deposited 16,000. And what interest did it earn? It is now that will be a principal 16,000 times the rate 14 over 100 times the time, which is 4 years. So this is like saying 16,000 plus, let's see the interest. So interest in your calculators, you have 16,000 times 14 over 100 times 4. I'm having, 16,000, I've done it wrongly. times 14 over 100 times 4. I'm getting 8960 as the interest, and 8960. So once I add the 8960 to the 16,000, I'm getting 24,960. 24,960. This is the amount that was in Grace's account after 4 years, based on the simple interest, because the amount is principal plus, sorry, interest plus the amount. Sorry, interest plus the deposit. That's how you get it. Now let's see that because they said there's this point that they said Joyce deposited the same amount of money as Grace, meaning Joyce also deposited 16,000, but now with Joyce, she was being compounded semi-annually. But after 4 years, they had equal amounts of money in their bank account, meaning also Joyce had 24,960. So for Joyce, because for this lady by the name Joyce Lanas, because she was being compounded, our formula is amount is equals to P into 1 plus R over 100 power N. The amount accumulated after 4 years is the same, so that is 24,960 should be equal to the principal, the money deposited, which is the same also, 16,000 into 1 plus, I want to be beaten now here. Remember, the rate, because she's being compounded and semi-annually, the rate we are going to divide by 2. So the rate we divide it by 2, but should be over 100. And the years, the n you multiply by 2. So n was 4. So I'll have 4 times 2, making it 10 to be 8. So this is simple. If you have it like that, I can let me use a different pen to distinguish. I can eliminate this easily by dividing through by 16,000. I also divide here by 16,000. When I divide that by 16,000, sorry, that is 24,960. You divide that by 16,000. I'm getting 1.56. I'll have 1.56. 1.56 being equal to 1 plus R over 2 over 100 power 8. Power 8. Now, to remove that power again, because that power 8 is going to bring me a lot of issues here, I'll have to get the 8th root of each side. Let me use again a different pen. This right hand side, I'm going to get its 8th root also here. I'm going to get the 8th root. How do I press 8th root in my calculator, learners? I'll press 8. I'm showing how to get the 8th root of 1.56. So I've said press 8, then press the shift button. After pressing the shift button, hope you are following. After pressing the shift button, there is that raise to power button. You press it. It should write for you something like X alaf root. Then now you key in 1.56. Key in 1.56. Sorry, 1.56. You key in 1.56. Hope I've just explained the stepwise. I've just explained it stepwise so that you don't forget. Remember, I've said You key in, I repeat for the sake of others, the eighth root of 1.56. You first press 8, then shift, then you button ya raise to power. Utaona imekuandikia 8 then x alafu hiyo square root thing, then you key in 1.56. You should get 1.05. Like my case here, for my case here, I'm getting 1.057 maybe 2 should now be equal to 1 plus r over 200, because r over 2 over 100, that's like just saying r over 200. Now we are almost finishing. So once I take this one, I collect like terms, I'll have r over 200 being equals to 1.0572 subtract 1. So r over 200, should be equal to 0.0572. R is equals to 200 times 0.0572. Let me do that multiplication now. 200 times 0.0572. I'm getting 11.44. So I'm having my R as 11.44%. I now check the question. The question was saying, remember the question was saying, leave your answer to one decimal point. So this means R is going to be 11.4%. 11.4% as the value for R. Question number 9, simplify this SAD, leaving your answer in the form of A plus B root C. Let's simplify it very fast. To simplify a SAD, learners, it's very easy. In fact, this is one of the questions where you can easily get a free mark. I want to show you. 3 root 2 all over root 5 minus root 2. Learners, the first mark you'll get here is just by multiplying through by the conjugate. The conjugate of the denominator, ama we rationalize the denominator. The conjugate is just the same denominator, but now you multiply by, you change the sign. So times root 5 plus root 2. The same, I also multiply with it here at the top, root 5 plus root 2. Learners, by just doing it like that, you'll get your 1 mark out of 3 marks. You have already your 1 mark by just multiplying through by the conjugate. Now let's do the multiplication. Let us do the multiplication. Let's do the multiplication. So this is 3 root 2 times root 5. That is a 3 root 10. Plus 3 root 2 times root 2, that will be 3 root 4, which is just like 3 times 2, which is 6, all over the denominator. When you expound the denominator, you are going to have root 5 times root 20, root 5 times root 5, that is root 25, which is 5. Then minus, because there will be some cancellation, it will be the last one. See again, root 2 times root 2, that is root 4, which is 2. Okay, so this will be now 3 root 10 plus 6 all over 3. In that case, you can factor out the common term in the numerator. The numerator 3 is common. If I factor out 3, which is common in the numerator, I'll be left with root 10 plus 2 over 3. Once I have it like that, learners, root 3 and root 3 will cancel. So my final answer I'm having is root 10 plus 2, which I can rearrange ikae to just 2 plus root 10. And that is your final answer. You will have simplified that sad. Question 10, very fast. The table below shows an income tax rates in a certain year. In that year, a monthly personal tax relief of 1,056 was allowed. If the monthly income tax paid to them by an employee was this one. Learners, when you get about the tax paid, they are simply referring about the net. The tax paid is also the net tax. And how do you get the net tax? Net tax is given by gross tax minus relief. So calculate his monthly taxable income. To get the monthly taxable income, we need to get the gross tax. To get the gross tax, let's first get the gross tax. The gross tax is given by net tax, which is the tax paid plus relief. The net tax plus relief. The net tax plus relief. So the net tax we've been told that was 42. 49 plus the relief 1056. So this was with a calculator 4249 plus 1056 plus 1056. What are you getting? You're getting 5305. 5305. This is the gross tax, or we also call it the total tax. Okay. Now, if that is the total tax, now we can do our taxation until our total tax amounts to that. Let's start doing our taxation. In the first band, from 1 to 9680, the tax is 10 shillings. So that will be 9680 times 10%, that's 10 over 100. This gives you 968. As we are dealing with it, I want to have this as the headings. This is tax. This column here is for tax learners always. Then this one here, the first column here is for what is called the taxable income. I'm sure maybe your teachers told you that. If not, you should be knowing it by now. We proceed, learners. In the next slab, I'm going to take 18,800. I subtract 9680. I'm going, 18,800. I subtract 9680 from the calculator. I'm getting 9120. So this will be 9120. You multiply by 15 over 100. 15 over 100. I multiply that by 15 over 100. I'm going to get 1368. I'll keep confirming. If I add the tax here, they should amount to 5305. If I add now that one, I'm at 3000. I'm quite behind. I proceed again to the next slab. The next slab, I'm going now to take 27,920. I subtract 18,800. 27,920. 27,920. I subtract 18,800. I'm getting 9120 again. 9120. Now this time round, I'm going to multiply it now by 20 over 100. So once I multiply that by 20 over 100, I'm getting 1824. Then I confirm. Let me add my tax to see if it amounts to 5,305. 968 plus 1368 plus 1824. I'm having 4,160. Let me go to the third band also and see. In the third band, in the fourth band, now it is 37,040. I subtract 27,920. I'm getting again 9120. I multiply now this one by 25 over 100. Multiply by that 25 over 100. I'm getting 2280. Let me see. If I do the addition, just a moment, I'm confirming the addition. I'm having 64. Learners, now you see, if I tax fully that third slab, it will exceed my total tax, because now once I add this, I'm seeing it's exceeding. Let's confirm. 968 plus 1368 plus 1824 plus 2280. I'm getting 6,440, but my total tax should amount into 5,304, because you know it exceeds. It simply means in this lab we are not going to tax it full. We are not going to tax it full. We need to get we need to take it like this. Let me show you what to do here. We need to get a value here, call it y. Once I multiply it by 25 over 100, it should give me the remaining tax here. What's the remaining tax? The remaining tax, you take 5305, you subtract the summations here. 968 plus 1368 plus 1824. I'm saying 968 plus 1368 plus 1824. 4160. You subtract 4160. That is it. So we need to get that value. So when I take y times that, so this is going to be 0.25y being equals to what? 5305, you less 4160, you get 1145. Getting 1145. So it means y is being given by 1145 over 0.25. So y is equals to how much? Divided by the 0.25, 4580. That's the value for y, 4580. So the value here should be 4580 to make it real. Now, because they want the monthly taxable income, to get now my taxable income, I'm going to add the first one, 9680 plus 9120 plus again 9120, then now plus 4580. Let me do that. 9680 plus 9120 plus 9120 plus 4580, 32,500. 32,500. That is the taxable amount. Question number 11. Grade 1 coffee. Grade 1 coffee. Let me just cross check. Am I having some parity here in my data? That is just a moment. 530. Why am I getting? What do I do when I? Just a moment. Let me cross check this working here. 968, that is 68. Let me check my multiplication here, because 49, 42, 49. Now 53, 0. Let me check just a moment. Is correct. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. Grade 1 coffee costs 500 shillings per kilogram, while grade 2 coffee is costing while grade 2 coffee is costing grade 2 coffee is costing 400 per kg. The grades are mixed to obtain a mixture of this one. In what ratio are they mixed? I want to use the Pearson square method. We have, in what ratio are they mixed? I am having 500. I'm having 400. They are mixed so that the mixture goes at 420. They want the ratio in which they were mixed. I'm going just to subtract Pearson square. So in each case I'm going to get absolute values. 400 minus 420, I'm going to get 20. 500 minus 420, I'm going to get 80. So the ratio is simply 20 ratio 80, which can be reduced to 1 ratio 4, which can be reduced to 1 ratio 4. As simple as that. As simple as that. Let me show you also method 2. Let me show you method 2 of getting the same. Method 2, this is what we can do. So I'm going to let this one be x, the coffee cost per kg, then kgs for this one to be x, and for this one here to be y. So that I'm going to have 500x plus 400y over the total ratio, which is x plus y. It should give me 420. On cross multiplication, I'm going to have 500x plus 400y being equal to 420x plus 420y. As simple as that. Then collection of like terms. So I'm going to have 500x minus 420x should give me 420y minus 400y. 500x minus 420x, I'm going to have 80x should give me 420y minus 400y, I'm going to have 20y. Now, when we are there, this is simple. I can say maybe I want to get, let me use a different pen, or not I want to explain. I want to get x over y. X over y means I have to divide here by y. I divide here by y. So the y and the y cancels. I'm going to have 80 x over y should give me 20. I'm not happy with that 80. I have to remove it on that side also. Yende huko. I divide here by 80. I divide here by 80. So the 8 and the 80 cancels, but I'm now having x over y being equals to 20 over 80. So it means x ratio y is equals to 20 ratio 80, which is equals to 1 ratio 4. What we got previously there. So that is the alternative method. You are free to choose which method fits you best. Question number 12. Question number 12. Let's do it very fast, learners. Let's do it quite faster. The base length and height of a parallelogram. The base length and height of a parallelogram were measured as 8.4 centimeters and 4.5 centimeters respectively, Calculate the percentage error in the area of the parallelogram. Calculate the percentage error in the area of the parallelogram. So, learners, this is a question on error in Form 3. Errors and approximation in Form 3. Hope you remember that. At first, we need to know how do we calculate area of a parallelogram. The moment we know how to calculate the area of a parallelogram, it will now make our work quite easier. Remember, I'm going step by step, learner, so that to make sure you understand. But before you finish it, if you've not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so that to keep getting notifications whenever we post a new item. So, area of a parallelogram, we need to know this. Area of a parallelogram is given by base length times height. That's what you need to know. So, if we've known that the base length, in fact, this should be base length times height. Let's see, if I'm having 8.4, it means if I'm having 8.4, it will be ranging all the way from 8.35 to 8.45. If I'm having 4.5, it means it is 4.35, sorry, 4.45, all the way to 4.55. Let me calculate the maximum area. Maximum area or area maximum is given by a bigger base length, that is 8.45, times a bigger height, that is 4.55. What are you getting? This is giving me 8.45 times 4.55, 38.4475. I'm getting maximum area of 38.4475 squared centimeters. Then we have area minimum. Area minimum is given by a smaller base length, that is 8.35, times a smaller height, that is 4.45. When you multiply 8.35 times 4.45, we're going to get 37.1575. 37.1575 squared centimeters. Also, let's get the actual area. Actual area is obtained by multiplying the actual measurements. That is 8.4 times 4.5. 8.4 times 4.5. I'm getting that 8.4 times 4.5, 37.8. Yes, it should be in between there. 37.8 squared centimeters. I'm done with those areas. Now I need to get, if I'm done with the areas, I can get absolute error. Absolute error. I'm going to take the maximum area, 38.4475. I minus the minimum area, 37.1. 1575, but now divide that by 2. Divide that now by 2. Sorry. Dividing it now by 2. Sorry. Dividing now by 2. Now it means that my absolute error is given by, with the help of my calculator, 38.4475 minus 37.1575. I divide by 2. I'm getting 0.645. 0.645. The question wants percentage error. After getting that, I know that percentage error is equals to absolute error 0.645 over the actual area, that is 7.8, but now expressed as a percentage by multiplying by 100%. Let me just see, divide by that 7.8. Then now I'm multiplying that by 100. I'm getting 1.706. 1.706%. 1.706% as the percentage error in that solution. That is the percentage error, dear learners. Let's look at question number 13. The equation of a circle x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 14y plus 58 is equal to r squared. If the circle passes through point 27, determine its radius and coordinates of its center. Coordinates of its center. So we normally solve this question using the completing square method. Let's see how we are going to solve it. Remember that it has been said it passes through this point. Passes through the point. So ordinarily, this is how our equation could have been. Ordinarily, this is how it could have been. We could have had 2x squared plus 7y squared plus 6x minus 14y plus 58 being equals to r squared now. That is it. So how do we work out this? How do we work out this, learners? How do you work out this? To work it out, it's not difficult. So this is like saying wherever there is x, we had to replace with the values, the coordinates there. So I have even this one I don't have, no need to write it like this. I'm just going to do the replacement where there is x with the value of x and where there is y with the value of y. That will make it quite easier than going through this longer method. Let me show you an easier way. Where there is x, we do replacement such that instead of x, now I'm going to talk of 2. So this is going now to be 2 squared plus, instead of y, I'm going to talk about 7. 7 squared minus plus 6x first. Should be plus 6x. So this is now plus 6 into x, which is 2, minus 14 into y, which is 7, plus 58 is equals to r squared. So this is 4 plus 49 plus 12 minus 98 plus 58 is equal to r squared. When you do the summations, that is 4 plus 49 plus 12 plus 58. Then you minus 98. Okay. Just a moment. Minus 98. I have 25. So it means 25 is equivalent to r squared. So r is the root of 25, which is 5. R is 5. That is the radius. The radius is 5. After now getting the radius as 5, we are now going to get the coordinates of its center. So the equation, remember, it was x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 14y minus 14y plus 58 should be equal to r squared, which is 5 squared. So x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 14y minus 14y plus 58 is equals to 25. Is equals to 25. Let's see what happens in that case. Hope you know how we do it by completing square method. So we start with those with x. So this is going to be x squared plus 6x first. Then we are going to add the c. The c is b over 2, so that is 6 over 2, which is 6 over 2, which is 3. 6 b over 2 squared, so that is 3 over 2 squared. That's a c I've added. Maybe let me use a different ink to distinguish. Let me just use a different pen to distinguish that for easier purposes. Sorry, what am I doing? That is 6 over 2 squared. 6 over 2 squared. Then I'm done with the x. I'm now going to add the y equation plus y squared minus 14y, then plus negative 14 over 2 squared. I'm adding the c. This should be equal to, remember that this one need to move to this other side. So 25 minus 58, but now plus our c's, plus our c values, 6 over 2 squared plus negative 14 plus negative 14 over 2 squared, like that. So in this case, I'm going to take, hope you remember the completing square method. This is now going to be x plus 3 squared plus y minus 7 squared should be equal to, this is, maybe it was not clear there, let me write here. This was 25 plus, sorry, minus 58, not plus, minus 58, then plus 6 over 2, that is 3 squared, that's 9. Then this is negative 14. Negative 14 divided by 2, that's negative 7. Squared of it is 49. So this is x squared, x plus 3 squared plus y minus 7 squared is equal to, let me work out the right hand side. I have 25 plus 9 plus 49. I get 83 minus 58. I get 25. I get 25 like that. So my center, the sign has to change for these values. So the center is -3, 7. -3, 7. Obviously, the radius is 5. So that's how you get your center. The center are these values, but now the sign changes. If it is plus, it becomes minus, and vice versa. Question number 14. Find the gradient of the curve y is equal to this at this point. First, before you get the gradient, you need to get the derivative, or what we call the gradient function, learners. So let's get the gradient function. Let's get the gradient function. The gradient function in this case is dy over dx should be equals to let us differentiate everything here. Maybe before that, the best way is I could open first before that, let me expand this bracketing to make somebody's work easier rather than combining. Y is equals to, this will be x cubed plus a half x minus x, isn't it? Hope I've done what I've just done is just multiplication. Then I want to get the gradient function, my dy over dx, learners. To get my gradient function, hope you know, the power drops down, then you raise the power by 1 to get the new power. So for this, it will be 3x squared. 3x squared, such that this 3 has dropped down and you've subtracted 1 from 3 to make it 2, plus this will be a half, then minus 1, like that. That is my gradient function. This is my gradient function, learners. This one that I've obtained, let me just indicate, because in some cases you'll find they are telling you to get the gradient function. This one here is the gradient function. If you are told to get the gradient function, that could be the answer. Now they want to get the gradient. How do you get the gradient given the gradient function? You simply, for you to get the gradient given the gradient function, you substitute, this should be it, substitute the x coordinate into the gradient function to get your gradient. Learners, you should be now knowing this. You substitute the x coordinate. Our x coordinate is this one, into my gradient function. So I'm going to have my gradient as 3 into x, which is 1 squared plus a half minus 1. So my gradient, with the help of a calculator, it will be now 3 plus a half minus 1. I'm having, just a moment, how did I get that a half? Uh, did I differentiate this well? Sorry, x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times a half x, that could have been a half x squared, right? Yes, could have been half x squared. Then x squared times that, this one is okay. So something was missing here. So when you differentiate this could have been 4x, in fact, not 4, because once you drop 2 times 2, that could have been x here. It could have been x. My dy dx here, this value here could have been x. I don't know how that passed me. This one here could have x squared. When you differentiate, you're going to get x. Then, so this means this means that that's like saying now plus x, which is 1, minus 1. So the answer for your gradient should be 3. But remember this key note that I've written for you here. Why am I writing it for you like that? Learners, remember, I want to make this channel the best channel ever in the world in terms of math simplicity. Question number 15. And you'll only help me to make it the best in the world by 1, subscribing to the channel, number 2, sharing the link to others about the content in the channel. In the figure below, the tangent XHY meets the chord meets the chord PQ produced at Y. Chord XZ passes through the center of the circle and intersects PQ at T. Line XY is 16 and QY is 10. Calculate the length PQ. Calculate the length PQ. Calculate the length PQ. This is a question on circles, chords, and tangents in Form 3. So you realize that this section 1 had a lot of Form 3 work. So that's a wake-up call for us. So I can say, let the distance PQ be Y. I want to, it's not even a must, but let me, or what I'll do, let me just retain it. Let me retain it. Let the distance PQ be Y. Let the distance be Y. But before maybe we proceed, you know, for you to work based this question, there are some rules that you need to know. There are some rules that you need to know which make your work easier. When I square my tangent, that is when I square the distance xy, if I square it, this should give me the distance, should give me that should give me the distance yq times py. You should know that property. So xy squared, so that is 16 squared, is equals to yq, that is 10 py. We don't have py, but remember what's our py? Our py is like that. That is our py. Let's see. So this is like saying 256, because 256 is equals to 10 py. If I decide to divide through by 10, I'm now going to get py is equals to 25.6 centimeters. But remember, this py is like saying pq plus qy. The py, which is 25.6, is equals to pq, which I don't know, plus qy, which is 10. So it means 25.6 minus 10 is equals to pq, which they want. So my pq is simply 15.6 in that case. 15.6 square. So not square centimeters, it's the length squared, like that. That's how you get that distance. Then they say if zt is equals to 4, zt is equals to 4, this distance here, zt 4, and pt to tq is 3 to 5. pt to tq 3 to 5. pt to tq is 3 ratio 5. 3 ratio 5. Find xt. That is just something simple, learners. Something simple. Remember the distance PQ we've gotten as the distance PQ, we got it as 15.6. Let's answer from here. The distance PQ is 15.6. But now they are telling you PT to TQ is 3:5. So the total ratio, which is 8, should be equal to 15.6. What about 3? I want to get 3. Maybe I want to get that length PT. This now will be, or rather, let me make it by saying, if I want to get PT, I'm going to take 3/8 times 15.6, which are 3/8 times 15.6. I'm getting 5.85. Then if I want to get TQ, it will be now TQ will be 5/8 times 15.6. 5/8 times that is 9.75. So PT is 5.85. Then like that. Now for circles, so not circles, for chords intersecting internally, PT times TQ should know that you should know that PT times TQ should be equal to ZT times TX, ZT times TX, XT. Yes. Having said that, PT we've gotten is 5.85 times TQ, which is 9.75. This one should be equal to ZT. ZT, I have it as ZT, I have it as 4 times TX, XT. So this means to get my TX, I'm going to take 5.85 times 9.75 over 4. So my XT, which is the same as just the TX as per the question, which is asking, I'm going now to take that. I do the multiplication, then I do the division, which is by 4, giving me 14.26 if you round off to 2 dp. This is 14.26 centimeter. As simple as that. Question number 16, the last one for today. Quantity P varies partly as Q and partly varies inversely as the square of Q. When Q is this, P is this, and when this is this. This is, learners, this is a partial variation. They want the relationship connecting P and Q. Partial variation will have two constants. So they say a quantity P varies partly as Q and partly, so and you add this, you use the addition sign, and partly varies inversely as the square of Q. The square inversely as the square of Q, like that. I'm going to introduce two constants, that is M and N. So this means P is equals to maybe MQ plus N over Q squared. Knowing that, now this will be when Q is 1, P is 1. So give P, when P is 1, Q is 1 times M, that will make it to be M plus N is also N, which I don't know, over Q squared, which is still 1. So this makes it 1 is equals to M plus N. That gives you the first equation. Question number 2, when Q is a half, P is -3. So it means negative 3, which is P, is equal to Q is a half M. A half M plus N over Q squared. So a half squared is a quarter. So it will be N over 4. Like that. This first equation, I can simplify it by saying, if it's like this, I know now that M can be 1 minus N. M can be 1 minus N. I want to do substitution. So this is going now to be, this is now going to be negative 3 is equals to a half of M. From the first equation, M can be written as 1 minus N plus N over 4. Like that. So this is going to be negative 3 is equals to a half minus a half N plus N over 4. I'm not happy with the denominators. I'm going to multiply through by the LCM of the denominators. I want to get rid of it. So the LCM is 4. I'll multiply this by 4, by 4, by 4, by 4. So doing it like that, this will now be negative 12 is equals to 2 minus 2n plus n. This one, when it goes the other side, I'll have negative 10 is equals to negative n. So that means n is equals to 10. That simply means n, just a moment, will n be equals to n in that case? Oh, there's a place I might have missed. Let me just confirm. Negative 3 is equal to a half minus a half n plus 4. And I multiply through by the LCM, which is 4. This will be now negative 12 is equals to 2 minus 2n plus n. Oh no, sorry. This is positive 2. Moving there to be negative 12 minus 2, which should be negative 14. This should be negative 14. Apologies. This one here, because negative 2, positive 2 crossing this side will be negative 12 minus 2, which will be negative 14. Negative 14 as the value for n. Negative 14 negative 14 like that. What about so if like that, m will be what? This should be 14, not even negative. What am I writing? So if m is that, what will be the value for n? N should be 1. N should be negative 13. So that you add m plus n should give you 1. Is it true? Let me just cross check, because there are things that are not adding. Just a moment, I'm verifying. Just a moment. Negative 3 is equals to that. No. Just a moment, let me just confirm something. Yeah, that is it, learners. So to get the equation connected, remember Q is obtained by Q is equals to what? Q is equals to M, which is 14, which is negative 3, negative 13, negative 13 what? Negative 13 q plus n, which is 14 over q squared. And 14 over q squared. Sorry, what have I written now? It should be like this. P is equal to, that will be m, which is negative 13, mq plus n, which is 14 over q squared. Learners, that is the equation connecting it. That is the equation connecting it. That is the equation connecting P and Q. I hope up to that point, learners, you have enjoyed the session. You have enjoyed the session well. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you keep getting updates. Keep getting updates about the site. Sorry, if I confirm, is it adding? Let me just check on something. Just trying to confirm my values. I feel like there's something that is missing here. After getting this as our equation 1, if I'm just trying to do substitution here, just a moment. It should be okay, just a moment. That one is testing. I want to confirm with P Q. So that's that will be now negative 6.5 plus 14 divided by a quarter. 14 over 4. Get it as, yeah, it's correct. It's correct. I was confirming. But now this power here, learners, should not be down. It's squared. So squared should be here. Squared should be here. So that's the equation connecting P and Q. Learners, thank you for being part of this session. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon. For any consultation, our hotline number remains 0741 30 43 11. Thank you so much. Share widely the link of the channel and invite your friends, tell them, and in this channel, math is being simplified. Thank you. See you during the next session.